So what I'm doing here today is I'm making up the shelf that will hold our gauge cluster, which is this little beauty here. And I'll throw a picture up so you can see what it looks like. We got some of this drawn out where I want to cut it for the searchlight, and it's a bit of a monster. It could be like 30% smaller and still fit fine, but anyways, I think it can go in this space here. It's going to be tight because the bow thruster switch has to go in here. The issue with the bow thruster switch is it's too high. It will hit the lid. It comes down. So what I'm going to do is cut a larger hole, and I can recess that 1/2 inch, which will give me enough height to mount the switch down in that hole, and it should all be good. Got a little template to mount the switch, which is great because the math was just doing my head in. I'm going to relocate the circle a little bit higher. Gives me more room for the window switch. So, started with that. Where do we start? Okay, I gotta finish this layout. So this is in freedom units. It says the whole switch 3.62 inches. So 3.62 would be 92 millimeters. So 92. So I'm going to drill the big one first. Drill. Yeah, that's what I need. I didn't hit the brick. Okay, let's try again. What the GoPro, stop recording. Try ramping up the speed. See if that prevents it from digging in. Now this should, fits right down in there nice, and we'll round it off, make it look pretty. So shave the little ears off, and it fits in there nicely. We're going to cover this. Lots of spy planes today. Can you hear them? Jesus Christ. A little bit of trim. Oh, maybe not. Maybe yes. Oh, maybe not. So you're going to have to open up underneath and thin out the material because this isn't very long. It doesn't come up through, so that's an issue. And this guy will sit about that far under. I was awake most of the night last night thinking about this part that you just saw me make, and I had some issues with it, and I decided that I can do better. So when I got up this morning, I started from scratch all over again. One of the issues I had was with the joystick for the bow thruster. It's too high where it was sitting, so I went up and I started to cut my helm console apart and decided to lower the whole thing down to 3/4 of an inch, and that would be enough to give me clearance and mount the joystick flush. That was one issue. Another one was the way I cut it. I damaged some of the carbon fiber, and I knew I could do better. So when I finally figured things out, I set to work, and it didn't take me very long. I spent a whole day on this mess, and today I put a new one together in a fraction of the time. So that's what you're going to see me doing from here on in this video. And some of the other things that were going on is, I don't know if you noticed, but I was wearing the wireless mics, and they're very good. They pick up everything, and I've been having issues with my sinuses for years, and I finally made an appointment to go see the doctor so we can get that fixed. When you hear me huffing and puffing and wheezing, it's not as bad as it sounds. So anyways, let's get on with the show. Thanks for hanging in with us, folks. So it's starting to look like deja vu all over again. Same place, same time I was here yesterday, doing exactly the same thing. I think that's a definition of insanity, doing the same thing over again, expecting to get a better result. Well, hopefully this time we will get a better result. So I'm now going to put some of this fancy blue carbon fiber on our shelf, and before I do that, I have to make a bit of a mess. Just sand off some of the fuzzies. Unfortunately, this material spent some time in the basement, and it looks like it got folded and there's creases, but I can probably minimize those by doing something like that. So the crease crosses here and here and here and here, and should be all right. I'm going to cut myself a generous border and trim it off later, so there's no need to be super accurate. And once this is glued on, I'll trim trim to fit. I've got a fair amount of this left and no other purpose in mind for it. So if I screw it up, I scrape it off and I start again. I do things right, guys. I do them like 3, 4, 5 times, but that's what it's like when you're building a custom boat, I guess. I thought about using the cherry veneer, but I've had this, I bought this with this exact purpose in mind, and I was going to use it on some of the other panels because it sort of matches the plate that makes up the gauge cluster. So we'll use it. Otherwise, it just goes to waste. They always say to have a backup plan. I got a backup plan. Ugh. My hands are already sticky, so okay, just let that sit. Okay, it's ready to go. Wish me luck. And get one shot at this. A couple little fuzzies, but there you have it. Now let's put it together and see what it all looks like. This is a secret I'm going to show you. Don't tell anybody. Don't put it on the internet, or I'll have to, I don't know what I'll do, but I'll have to do something. This is the fun part, putting this all together. One of these days I'll put it together for the very last time, and then maybe we can go boating. Cool. Okay. Thruster joystick fits right in that hole. Searchlight switch. It's right in that hole. Window switch goes right in that hole. Now this is the secret. Make sure you keep this to yourself. I think some of you will know what it is. There. What do you think, folks? Let me know in the comments what you think of my helm console. I think it turned out pretty good, but I'm biased. I'm like that.